Welcome everyone to the Island Life Podcast, where we journey onto the island of discovery to relive some of the best and worst moments of Survivor. My name is Will, an experienced Survivor fan, 48 seasons deep, and I will be your guide. And joining us on this special two-person adventure is our rising Survivor fan with 13 seasons under her belt, Ange.
Hello. I am so happy and excited to be back.
Welcome back. Now, of course, we had to ship F off the island temporarily to make this possible, but still, we don't need them. We'll talk to them someday in the future. I am real excited to hear now that you have caught up. So you've experienced it in a different way than the rest of us. We are all like one at a time, week to week. You, I'm assuming, just kind of at your own pace, just absorb the past 5 episodes before we just watched the sixth one. So just overall, what are your thoughts? Season 49.
I feel like this season has a lot of I feel like I might have said this like every season, but whatever, let it repeat, right? But I feel like this season there's a lot of people, very specific characters, like we got the shoe bandit, occultist. Like it's just like I'm getting just random
Did you
people that
wait,
with
wait,
very
wait. Did you say a cultist? Who are you referring to as the
I'm
cultist?
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think, okay, conspiracy, Shannon. Shannon's giving me cultist vibes, okay? You can't stir me otherwise. And you know what's crazy though? The first episode I watched Shannon, I was like, oh, I kind of like her. She's very like zen. You get this moment of everybody's just like meditating. I'm like, okay, she's kind of into meditation. Maybe she's like into yoga, like she's into that. And then it just every episode she keeps talking, and the more she talks, the more you're like, oh, man, and, I can't help but feel like, is it the edit, or is it she truly like this? Like, if the camera is panning and she's already like this, just by the little cuts we get of her, I can't imagine living on the island with her day in, day out of her talking. I can't do it. So, but overall, it kinda went kinda crazy with the Jake getting bit by the what is it? The crate?
Right.
Sea crate?
Yep.
Sea crate?
Yep.
I think that's what it's called. That moment where, Alex looks into, like, the little binder of stuff and was like, "This is the most poisonous thing," and he's trying
Mhm.
not to tell Jake about it. I was like, "Are you okay? Are you co" and someone that works in, like, in the medical field, I can't help but, like, laugh when they ship Jake out and the medical person is like, "Is he breathing?" It's like, I would hope he is." What do you mean? Why did you ask that?"
See, that's funny. As a layperson, I just thought like, is he just trying to see like how well is he breathing? Not literally, is he? Because you're right. If
Was he
if
coding?
you
Like, was he
it yeah, that's true. Because if he wasn't breathing, you would have expected that to be obvious with people attempting to get him breathing on the boats.
Yes, I would be like, if he's not breathing right now, I would not be waiting outside and docking right now. We would be all hands on deck in the boat. Like, it's funny now that we look back into it. At that moment, I'm sure it was horrific, scary. Like, he's just sitting in the beach. Like, we see so many scenes of snakes, like, all the time. I have yet to see someone get bit by a snake in my little bits of, experience. So, I don't know, Will, were you shook when you watched this part? Like, how were you, like, concerned, or were you like, "Ah, it's not venomous." Like, do you secretly know much
Well,
about secrets?
oh, knew nothing about secrets. But when F and I were watching, at first, because Jake just comes walking like, "Hey guys, take a look at this," and then I'm like, "All right," and I just didn't expect anything to really come of it, like, because he like no one was worried, but then like everything like escalated faster and faster, and now medical's here, and then we find out that it's venomous, and now they take us the behind the scenes. It was pretty surreal. I think part of it, they edited it in a way to be emotional, and thus I was emotional at the time.
Yes.
But it's not too often. nowadays we get animal life, drama. You know,
No.
there's like, let's just say, like, season 30 to present day, plenty of medevacs for different reasons, but really, it's, like, injury slash infection, like, you got injured,
Mm,
and then that injury got like, that's tends to be the type of thing. There's been, like, heat exhaustion type of things,
mhm.
um,
Yeah, that
but
for sure.
it's pretty rare f it's because like, in the we'll get to them eventually, like, the oldest season sometimes is like, "Oh my god, that's just like an elephant back there." It's like, "Well, yeah, that elephant
What?
could just stomp on you, like, that's kinda dangerous."
Oh my
Uh,
gosh, that's crazy to think
s
about.
so but that just doesn't come up anymore, so it was definitely surreal. Um, so until this episode, so excluding what we just watched, did a favorite castaway kind of emerge for you? Like someone because then 48, in the very beginning, it was Joe and Eva taking up the spotlight in, like, a
Mhm.
positive way, and then Say and Cedric taking up spotlight in a negative way. So, has anybody stood out like that this time around?
In a positive way, I'm not gonna lie to you, so far, not really. You know, I think Sage makes a funny, like she's a funny, like, person in this, and this whole Sage X Shannon thing is kinda interesting and funny, but I honestly haven't really, like, felt like I'm rooting for someone, you know, I feel like every time in the beginning of a season, maybe I'll root for 1 or 2, but so far, I have yet to, like, really feel it. I have some that I feel strongly about, like Rizzo. He came in hot episode 1, Rizogod, God, like, I'm just like, "Hmm." Interesting. And it's kind of funny because I'm so used to, like, us watching old seasons and new seasons. So when, like, we watch an old season and go to a new season where they're making, like, terms like Riz God, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, where am I? Like, did I just travel, like, in time right now?" Because you go from, like, old season, they don't say these things, and then he comes in like a truck being like, "I'm the Riz God, baby." I'm like, "Oh my goodness."
Didn't someone say on that episode, like, "Oh, they're cooked," something there was something
Yes,
else
they're
like that.
cooked. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what in" they're saying words that we say. It's just so weird when we are watching old and new episodes, but I don't know, Jake kind of like I had, like, a tiny soft spot for Jake because, like, he was saying, like, oh, his wife can be giving birth anytime soon now, which I could imagine, like, people kinda going after him for that because, like, why would you leave your wife to like, well, that's giving birth, but I could also see that this is a conversation they probably had, you know? It's like, "Hey, get out there, get that dough," you know, or "Do the thing, do it in the honor of your father who may or may
Mhm.
not lose his vision, questionable." Um so so I think I had a soft spot for him, but his shoe bandit thing was such a weird thing to be known as, you know, like, if I'm going to Survivor and I wanna be known as something, you know, kinda start up something, being a shoe bandit wouldn't be something I'm gonna try to be known for. You know, like, what did
Yeah,
you think? Did you think it
that
was
was just
iconic?
that was just chaos for I guess if he had, like, won the season despite doing that, I mean, that would be crazy. I mean, there are people we haven't seen them yet. There are castaways that do things in that category of ridiculousness, but then, like, they succeed, and so now it's thought as it's part of the legacy, and even future castaways would try to copy that ridiculousness, be like, "Well, it worked for that person,
Mhm.
but it doesn't work at all for them." So, um, yeah, I I feel like a lot of the people that I liked, I only like when they were gone. I'm like, "Yeah, they were kinda cool to be here," but there's no I guess there's no rivalry right now. There's no, like, main storyline brewing, and
No.
maybe that's part of all these swaps. So to get into, this episode 6 here, the most interesting part of the episode is a pretty rare second swap of the pre-merge, and this one takes us back from 2 tribes to 3 again. How you feeling with these swaps?
Um, I I don't know, man. I don't like it. I just feel like these swaps I feel like in the new era, these swaps only occur because there's always one team that sucks. Like, what's with this? Like, there's no equalization. Like, sometimes it's like, oh, these 2 teams that's are rough, and then there's one that's like does really well. But every season in the new era, I feel like there's always just one bad team. One bad I usually say it's yellow, I'm not gonna lie, I always think yellow is the bad team because I feel like previous seasons, yellow always struggle yellow with a struggle, but this time, it's blue. Blue
Oh, yeah.
struggling, and going back, though, I can't help but feel it's wild that Jeff still eliminated someone despite Jake being, like, taken out. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he's like, "Oh, the show must go on," "This is happening." It's kinda like wow, I'm shocked because I could have sworn that there was one time in the new season or new era where someone had to get
Oh,
medvac and they end up being like, "No tribal tonight, you guys, you're all good," and that's it. Like
funny
that's
enough,
what happened.
we F and I just talked about it because we're what we the episodes haven't posted yet, but we were watching 46, and that
Oh
happens
yes.
with Banu, where it looks like it's gonna be him, but then Jeff visits the Yanu beach and it's like, "Well,
Yes.
uh, Randon has been, medevac, so no tribal tonight," and it's funny because 'cause they're about to cheer, but they hold it in because obviously they like 'cause kinda rude, this person had to be medically evacuated, but so yeah, that's an example. It's happened both ways over the years. Selfishly, as a viewer of a TV show, I prefer someone still being voted out because I want there to be a tribal council in my TV show. So an episode where there's no tribal council is not as interesting.
I know,
So that
but
was
they've
fine.
gone through so much. They've already
Well,
gone through so much.
they could have just won the challenge, then it wouldn't have been a problem.
Oof. 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 Well, it's like, just get good. Just get better. Who
Yeah,
was it that was like, "I wanna be the first survivor, like, winner that's a Libra," or something? Like, they put out a zodiac sign out, and I'm
oh,
like, "Oh my god, that's so funny." I was like,
was it Jeremiah, the person who went home that
"Oh,
episode?
oh, I think it might have
And
been." Yeah, I was
I
like
know he was
I think
talking about the
yes,
zodiac.
I think it was a Libra. I don't know. I don't quote me on the zodiac sign, but I'm like, "How do you know?" And I remember that episode, I even looked it up too. I was like, "Oh my gosh, they're right." I was if they do track it. I think, like, the top winners I forgot the zone, but I was like, "There's gotta be a" I'm a Virgo, so I was like, "There's gotta be a Virgo winner," and there were multiple, and I'm like, "Yep, darn, can it be the first Virgo winner?"
Um, yeah, I wonder if is this just they were just thrown by a loop for Jake being medevaced and it just threw off all their timing? But I like, did they have this 3-team challenge and they didn't want it to go to waste? I don't know. It's it's odd, but aside from the production decisions, just in, like, watching the show, it is kind of a whiplash to mix up the tribes more than once because
Yes.
you're really trying to track this storyline and like have a rooting interest and everything because you usually you get behind either certain castaways or by extension their tribe, so that's who you're rooting for. With this, you actually have to like kind of get in the zone of okay, who do I want to root for in this challenge or who's on which? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like it because I feel like everybody's hoping for a merge and it's not happening and it's only making more new teams, and I feel like I feel I get why they do it because the first one at least when they do the first, like, changing of the tribes and stuff because one tribe is clearly struggling and they're gonna about to lose everybody if they don't do that, but I also feel like it's kinda unfair to those that were doing really good, like Hina. Like, Hina was doing excellent, we're doing amazing, and that tribe swap took out 2 of their people, like, and because they were stuck in a bad position. Could it be just saying, "Oh, this is just the game, that's part of luck?" I get it, but I'm also like, it's frustrating to see that because another tribe is bad, another tribe that is doing good has to, like, get the brunt of it, I guess, I'm saying. I also feel like
Yeah.
there's such, like, mean energy with Uli and, like, versus Hina. I feel like Hina was giving our last season, like, "Good vibes only," like, "We love each other, we're family," and Uli is the villain, and Kelly is the losers. Sorry,
Yeah,
Kelly.
yeah. Yeah, I guess I did say there's not really like a overall storyline here, but that's not entirely accurate. The storyline we're being told is the war of Uli
Uli
and
versus
Hina.
Hina.
Yeah,
OG Uli Hina, not just
the
Uli
great
Hina.
exactly, the great war, and that could be compelling. I mean, that's a pretty common, like, tribe versus tribe. It's just but what makes it weird is the people of the war aren't together. So,
No, and they're assuming they're gonna still be together after the merge. That's what these people are all thinking.
well, yeah, but literally, like, the participants aren't on the same beach, so it's like these pre-battles that may or may not lead to the full battle, like, like, if we had never swapped anything and then Hina went to tribal, they would be like, "Alright, we're voting out one of our own. Who is the best pick to get rid of to prepare ourselves with our fight with Uli?" That probably would have been what the storyline is, and that's still easier to track. Then again, would we keep complaining if it was just the same, like, "Oh, of course it's gonna be, let's say, Matt." Actually, like, it still would have been Matt if they have gone because he's on the outs, whereas this yeah, I don't know. But I 2 swaps does I think now it's I'm pretty confident in my feelings that this is excessive. Last time
Yeah,
F and
I
I
agree.
talked about it, I was pretty conflicted, I could see both sides. This feels that being said, I think we did get some cool discussions despite our misgivings, so, um, as they arrive for what they think will be an immunity challenge, as usual, when they're still tribes of 2, um, before so he starts teasing them that the merge is gonna happen, and, uh, but ultimately, they can see it with their eyes. There's a challenge built for 3 teams, so they kinda probably should have deduced what was happening, and
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
Christina has a moment where maybe
Oh,
just,
Christina.
the excitement, the adrenaline, the heat, maybe dehydration, like all everything starvation, everything came together where, like to me, it looked like she might have been close to, like, fainting or passing out. Like,
I
if
know.
no one intervened, that's what would have happened.
Yeah, she looked like she was it felt like, that moment where you get overwhelmed with everything? I think, like, even she was saying, like, I think with the tribe swap, she's just kinda seeing her future and, like, being stuck in this, like, new tribe again, having to restart and being in this predicament, like, where she could be in danger again when she was just feeling comfortable, and I think that all, like, went down to her, could it be a little anxiety or panic attack with along with the weather and everything? I think all of that, makes it difficult, and I just flash back to Andy during, like, when he had his first, challenge and he didn't do well and he had, like, a full blown he just lied down and he's like and Jeff is
Right,
like,
right.
"What do you need?" It's like, "I need everything. I need everything, Jeff." Or like, "Get the medic," and everything, but I felt bad to see it, Christina. I feel like she really struggled in this episode. Um and I think Christina had a really good thing with Shannon, and I think her not being with her kinda made her feel dangerous. I mean, I would feel very scared if my close people aren't together and I'm with new people again. You're already hungry, you're already hot, and all this kinda combination put together. But I feel like it doesn't make you a good competitor. It doesn't make you a good person to be with because 'cause you're like, "Oh, man." You're not gonna be good at challenges or like, "Ugh, what's going on with you? Like, are you not feeling good about this team? Maybe we should take you out first."
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, yeah. I guess that depends how long you think you're even going to be in tribes, because like they think the merge is coming. I mean, they even thought it was going to happen this time, and then so then once it's individual, if anything, you want to be with someone who's not good at challenges, because then better chance for you to win the challenge. Um, yeah. So Christina's had a lot of well, not a lot, but, like, the times we've seen Christina, I think, has been highlighting, um, emotional moments of, like, personal moments for her. I am
Yeah.
waiting to see a lot of these people develop, like, their long-term strategy because right now, there's an, like, overtone of stick with your tribe for most of them, but very few have, like, a specific, like, "I'm gonna go to the end with this person."
It
Like
just blends so much, I feel
it's
like.
only Shannon, like, for Shannon's probably the only person who started talking about it,
Yeah.
and we're not gonna hear about it anymore, so
I know it's over. Goodbye. Well, I feel like Savannah and Rizzo is definitely together. So it's like Savannah, Rizzo, and weirdly enough, they adopted Sophie. I feel like Sophie throughout these entire seasons, I don't know, she's just like a little Bambi, you know? She lost her mother and everyone's babying her. And I'm like, she's, I feel bad for her, but guys, like,
I
what's
mean,
going
she's like
on?
no, has won nothing, like, lost every single challenge she
I
should have
get
won.
it. I get
No
that, but it's
reward,
also
none.
like, I get it, but I'm also like, I don't know. I also hated, like, that moment of I hated it, but I'm sure people loved it, that moment of, like, Rizzo and Savannah laughing about being on the hammocks that Hina worked so hard for and
Oh,
barely
yeah,
got
that's
to
great.
enjoy. I'm sure people enjoyed, but I hated it. I was like, "This is such mean girl, boy energy," and I don't like it, you know? And, Savannah gives, like, vibes of, "I'm a girl's girl, but I'm not." I don't know, something about it. Like, the main Savannah's way of being friends with Sophie is like, "She looks just like me," or like, "I would have friends that look just like her," and I'm just like, "Mm, okay. Is that a good enough reason to be friends?" But you know what? You do you. You do your thing. Um, I don't know. Uli just kinda rubbed me the wrong way, certain people. I loved Hina. I think they were very nice, very sweet, and I like that type of tribe. That's what kinda I like, but again, I did say, in the past of like, you need someone villainous, but they don't push through the villainous though. They're not like they're just kinda like getting close to it, but they're not villainous. So I don't so that they're
Yeah,
still
I
not
agree with that.
villainous,
They're
you know what I'm
not
saying?
like, this is very
Yes, they're just
light villain energy, but
yes.
I think it's because to they haven't needed to do anything yet
Yeah,
because
yeah.
so far on original Uli, at least specifically original Savannah, they didn't go tribal, so not much to do there. Then they on this first swap, they're in the majority, and there's never really a desire to go against their own majority. Even if they were gonna vote against Joanne, that would still be a group decision, so no subterfuge, deception needed. And now in the second swap tribe, they also have a majority, so they still don't have to worry about it. So we've just been uh, waiting for them to be able to flex their strategic skills, and maybe that's when we'll see some more villain energy. Um, yeah, so the that this they do run the reward challenge, the three of them. So the new Uli tribe is Alex, Christina, and Sophie. So they were from the newer Kele tribe, and so they just were together. And Nate is joining them from the previous Hina tribe. So in theory, 3 versus 1 there. Plus, Christina and Sophie are original Hina. See, this is even hard to talk about because of so many different tribes, but we'll get through it. And the new blue tribe, the new Kele tribe is Sage, Shannon, and Jawan. So they were all on original Uli. And then Steven from the original Hina. And the new Hina tribe is Rizzo and Savannah for original Uli, Sophie B, who was original Kele and was just with Rizzo and Savannah previously, and then MC by herself with them. So in all 3 of these tribes, if you wanna go through it, on Hina, you would think MC is in danger because the other 3 are likely to vote together. On the new Kele tribe, it looked like Steven would be in danger since there's the original Uli on there, and on current Uli, you would think Nate is the one in danger since he's the only one from, uh, original Uli, so that's a lot there and a lot that got presented to us at the beginning. Um, and real quick, so this challenge, they all had to load these sand actually, I don't know if it was sand, but these bags onto a big cart, push the cart that has a ladder on it underneath the pole. Someone climbs the ladder and uses a rod to knock discs off of that pole. Eventually, you get to the end of the course where you, like, frisbee throw those discs to knock down some targets to win yourself, grilled cheese, which as we watch the old seasons, so much better rewards back then.
Are you pulling a Sophie?
I'm pulling a Sophie, like, I
Oh,
mean,
that's too
I
funny.
I prefer not to starve, so I take it, but really, like, grilled cheese and
Right? Like, grilled
brownies?
cheese ain't even grilled no more. The best part of a grilled cheese is the melty cheese and the crispy outside. You think it's still like that by the time they get there? Doubtful.
Yeah, nah, nah. Again, better than starving, so that's fine, but,
Yeah, that's fair. That's true. That's true. I'm not, if Jeff asks me how do I feel, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna be like, I'm so excited, Jeff. I'm so pumped. Like this is amazing. This is the best thing ever. Even with the whole bunch of fruits, he could bring me cabbages and I'll be like, oh my god, amazing, Jeff.
uh, so I think the best thing to do is to quickly go through each of these new tribes to find what the storyline was for each of them. So New Uli, New Red Tribe, the one of Alex, Christina, Nate, and Sophie. The storyline seems to be that at first, Christina, Alex, and Sophie were gonna stick together, but Christina wants to defend against the chance that Nate either uses the shot in the dark or somehow has an idol or something. And the defense against that is writing Sophie's name down. And like obviously, like, you're not gonna like that if you're so
No. How does people not learn? It's like I would never suggest whose name to put in. I'm not suggesting mine, but I ain't gonna suggest yours. And that's the tough part, by saying they go from all in agreement, and then when it comes to like who we're gonna say instead. And I think that's what makes, I guess, the shot in the dark so dang kind of cool in a way. I hate it and I love it. I love it because they can't go like, we're gonna vote for you, Nate. It's over. Because they have to make him comfortable. Everyone's like, "Make them comfortable, make them feel welcomed, make them feel like we're vibing." And because they don't want them to use a shot in the dark, even though it's 1/6 of a chance, I don't know, I feel like it's not that scary. I don't feel that scared, but I guess what if I'm playing the game, I'd be like, "Oh no, that 1/6 chance could send me home." Um, but uh, but it's just, like, the moment Christina goes, like, "Yeah, put Sophie's name," Sophie's like, "Christina's gotta go." That tells me that you don't wanna work with me. It's over. Bye. It's like, this crumbled faster than it got together, this whole plan, and I guess that's a good part about the small tribe where it changes so fast. It only takes 2 people to agree on it. Boom, you're done.
Yeah, well, usually when your tribe is bigger, it's just it's more likely than not that there's a secondary target that's not really in the alliance, so then it's easy, you just split it between like, Nate and some other person, but since there's only 4 of them, you can't either you'd have to split the vote yourself, which would mean, like, Alex and Christina voting for Nate, and then Sophie would have to vote for one of but actually, no, that doesn't make sense because then whoever Nate votes for is gonna make a tie potentially, so you don't want that. So, yeah, you can't split the vote yourself, so it's just who's Nate gonna vote for, um in Christina's defense, this is tough. With so few people, it is tough to properly talk about it. Um,
What would
and
you
you
do then
yeah.
if you were in that situation? Like, if I was like, "Hey, Will, who are we gonna say instead?" You know? Would you suggest something to be, like, proactive on this plan? Would you suggest
Well
yourself?
maybe maybe you need to avoid you just need to leave it at, "I'll make him feel comfortable," and, like, don't get into it, because
Oh,
because I
okay.
because I think what Christina because I think what happens here is that Christina suggests, "I think I can make him feel comfortable, and Alex, why don't you go, like, bro it up with him?" And does not then say something for Sophie to do. So then Sophie puts the pieces together, "Oh, well, if you 2 are gonna be friendly with him, then therefore he wouldn't vote for you 2, so he's gonna vote for me. So you're just saying my name's the Zach of name," and she kinda got there, so that didn't work. Obviously, just suggesting a name is worse, so that's bad. Doing nothing is just leaving yourself vulnerable because then it's just at the whims of fate. Uh, you're just hope because if he does use a shot in the dark and hits, then that means that it's a 0 vote, like, all your votes get canceled out, and it's basically gonna go to rocks, so you don't want that. And if he does vote, but uses, like, an idol or something, then you don't want him to pick your name. So I think that the only your only way is to finesse it to just be like, I'll keep him comfortable," and kinda just hope it doesn't come up on the specifics of how you're gonna keep him comfortable. And depending on how savvy and honestly, what you would kinda want to happen then is that you're very close to one of the other people, so you can confide in them, like, "Oh, I'm gonna suggest the other person's name." Like, that's what you would really do. But the thing is
Oh,
but the thing
okay.
is, like, after 2 swaps, like, whoever was your number 1 is probably not here. Like, Savannah
Yeah.
and Rizzo could probably do that. Like,
Ugh,
Rizzo
the
Rizzo could go t
chances. Ugh.
like, Rizzo could go talk to MC, pretend to be friends, and then pitch Sophie as a vote, and then he could just not tell Sophie, but he does tell Savannah about it, like, that could work, and they can trust each other. It's hard here, and so it's tough. But obviously, so Sophie, uh, like you said, clocks this immediately, doesn't like it immediately, and it turns out from the previous tribe has actually built a strong enough bond with Alex that when Sophie goes to be like, "Honestly, I think we should just go after Christina," Alex seems to be like, "Actually, I prefer that anyway." So, like, because if that bond did not exist, Sophie would have had that conversation, then Alex would have, like, gone back to Christina, and then Christina would be targeting Sophie, and it would have completely backfired.
Yeah,
So
that's
good on
true.
Sophie for building that bond with someone who was not on her original tribe. So honestly, that's a good on you, and that is a positive of what swaps allow
Yeah.
for, so it's nice.
I do like Sophie. I think she's very likable, although she is right that in every alliance, I feel like she's not been, like, the one that's tightest with anybody, but I like her. I do like her. She seems like a nice girl. Although all the S names has gotten me confused, there's a lot of S's in this
Yeah,
season.
so this is Sophie S, I believe,
Ah, okay.
and then the other Sophie is Sophie B.
I
Or,
see.
like, if you're looking on on the websites, Sophie with an E at the end is the one we're talking about
Mm.
right now. Sophie without the E at the end is the other one that was on Kele and had lost
Uh,
every single last challenge until this one. Speaking of, so Hina, who won that challenge, they're very happy. MC is the one that's alone here, and actually even more dire than Nate because this time it's a very strong duo of Rizzo and Savannah on her tribe, and then Sophie from Kele that although doesn't have an ally right now, just spent time with Rizzo and Savannah, and unbeknownst to MC, has been voting with them the whole time. So this looks pretty bleak for MC. The drama here is that MC still has the beware advantage and is waiting to lose an immunity challenge to go look for it. Um, and then Rizzo has his idol right now too, so that's in play. And then MC chooses to reveal to Rizzo that she heard, uh, was it from Sage? Forget
Yes,
who.
from
Yeah, I think
Sage, yes.
that that Rizzo has the idol. Um, Rizzo's reaction is kind of odd. I don't know if I like it, but he says the right thing to MC. He's like, "Oh, thanks for telling me. I really appreciate it. That's great." And then in confessional, is like, "It's scary, but I think I like this because a man with an idol is intimidating, and like I want to be the scary one, kind of thing."
Yeah, you're not.
Like that. Well, uh,
If it's
yeah,
secretive, it's way better than it is not. So, I think it depends on who they're playing with, but I don't agree. I think once you like, I feel like there are prior seasons in the new era where having an idol, you put a target on your back. Um,
yeah. I mean, like in this
so
situation, like, with only 4 people, like, imagine Savannah suddenly wanted to blindside Rizzo. Well, that'd be a scary proposition to persuade people to do because everyone knows he has an idol. Like, well, do I really wanna try? Like, what if he uses it?
yeah, that's
But
true.
but once we're at the merge, if you wanna do that, you have, like, 10 people at least, so you can split votes, and then it's not as scary. Um, but Rizzo, honestly, that's what he gets for willingly and happily telling his entire tribe. And, he acknowledged it. He says, like, he expected this. It's just like, well, then why did you act that way if this is what you expected? Like, that's kinda weird to me.
I know he was like, "Oh, it's like Survivor's like school lunch or something like that." It's like, well, you kind of spread the rumor yourself, You kind of told other people first. I mean, yeah, I don't know. But I don't think it kinda gained anything for MC though. I feel like MC kinda used it as a way to, like, gain his trust, be like, "Hey, I was told this, I don't wanna say it in front of other people." Um, but I don't think it worked out the way MC wanted to, as Rizzo has such a strong bond with Savannah and Savannah with Sophie. So, um, I don't know, this
Yeah.
I feel I'm worried for MC if they don't have a merge soon and don't win.
Now what's funny, I forget, I think F made this point, or it might have been someone maybe it wasn't F, I forget who talked to me, but if Rizzo had not found like, if things worked out differently, they had not lost immunity, so now Rizzo doesn't have his idol. If this tribe lost, then both MC and Rizzo would have met their criteria for searching for their beware idol. So, like, how
Oh.
I do wonder how production would have organized that then. Like, did they plan for that possibility? Were they ready for it? Because like, how would did because it's supposed to be like a scavenger hunt type of thing, but there'd be 2 people trying to do 2 scavenger hunts.
And who was the one that found the other was it Alex that found it?
Yeah, it was Alex, who
And he
then
used
used
it,
it
right?
in the scary 3-person tribal
Yeah.
council.
I don't know why his idol, him finding that, it felt like he was holding a ball and chain for, like, 10 billion yards, and then when it came to Rizzo, it was like a short little chain, easy to find, like, it was no big deal kinda thing. Actually, someone else
Yeah,
found Rizzo's, idol, right? Like, was it someone
well,
else? I
they
might
well, Savannah dug she dug up the instructions because you can't dig those up until you lose immunity, and
right,
she's
right.
like, "Where's like, why isn't Rizzo doing it? Let's just do it for him because, like, we don't have all day." And then and then they gave the clue and map to Rizzo, who went to find it. I think his challenge was supposed to be like, "Ooh, like, you have to, like, go into the water and search
It's
the
so
ocean,
easy for
basically,"
him.
but yeah, it didn't really come off as something interesting. Yeah, yeah, you're right. MC, if Sophie didn't have that bond with Savannah, this would be better because then you're trying to differentiate yourself from her. But um, who knows? I mean, it might come up later. Like maybe later Rizzo's like looking for an ally and suggests MC because of this. um, like, to add her to a bigger alliance, so, we'll wait and see with that. Lastly, Rizzo correctly intuits that there'd be some kind of advantage hidden on the beach again, um, which technically is fine, like, that like, expect anything in Survivor, so it's worth a shot, and he gets Savannah and Sophie to also search, but this time not together, but just at the same time, and it's Sophie B that finds an advantage, and it turns out it is the infamous knowledge is power advantage. Now, uh, do you remember seeing this advantage in previous seasons?
I do not recall this.
So we can call it, uh, Angie's first.
Angels
Knowledge
first.
is power advantage. Now, she kinda rushed through the piece of paper, so I guess technically, like, we didn't hear everything, but in the past, what this advantage allows you to do is at tribal council, you just announce, like, "I'm gonna use my knowledge is power," whenever you want, and you get to ask someone else at tribal council, "Do you have an advantage?" Or you can ask, "Do you have an immunity idol?" And then that person is compelled to answer honestly, and if the answer is yes, then they hand over that item to you.
That's a very strong thing. That's very strong, especially nowadays, people don't hide their advantages. Like, you could easily be like Rizzo, like, give me
Yep,
that," you know, and then it's, like,
yep.
obvious, you know? That's really strong. Was it there in the last season? I don't even remember it.
I think so one of the last 2 seasons, I think it was, and someone could correct me if I'm wrong here, I thought it was like someone could have gotten this at a journey or something like this, but, like, they didn't succeed and thus didn't get the knowledge is power. Or maybe it was like, smash these urn, and if you get it
Oh,
right, you get an
yes.
advantage, if you get it wrong, you lose your vote, and if you try
Mhm.
it a second time, you'll get the knowledge is power, but if you get it wrong, you'll, like, lose 2 votes, like
Yeah, the strong the more you do, the stronger it gets kinda thing, but I guess nobody I wouldn't do it, like, ever get that strong. I also feel like getting that is, like, it's very powerful, but it also depends. I like when Sophie was Sophie, right? Yeah, Sophie got it. She's, like, thinking, like, well, if she takes it from Rizzo, that's, like that's just basically saying, "I'm not gonna work with you. I'm stealing your stuff." But also, it's very useful when you are merged and you kinda start learning what other people have and their advantages and everything. So, I think it's a pretty good thing to have without needing to have, like, something, you could take it from somebody. That's so
yeah,
strong.
it's it's incredibly strong. It is not unbeatable, so this advantage has appeared a few times, and
Oh.
it's been defeated some of those times,
Mm.
but
You what?
its concept doesn't feel right. Like this eh, like, you need to tell the truth, which means if you think about game mechanic, like, ways, that means that production has to, like, check that you're being honest, basically.
Mm.
Like, using their knowledge of everything, which they have.
But what if it's not in your bag during the time?
Ooh, now that's a gray area because I can tell you if you've given it to somebody else, then it whiffs. Like, if you handed
Oh.
your idol to F and I say, like, "I'm using my knowledge as power, and do you have an idol?" Then your truthful answer is no, and my thing just doesn't work, and now I've used it.
Oh.
But if it is in your possession, like, it belongs to you, but it's not on your like, it's back at camp, now that's like a I don't know what happens then. I imagine it also fails because, if you think about it, I can't give it it's supposed to be the spectacle of I just, like, hand it over, and I can't do that because it's not here, so I assume it would just fail. Um, so yeah, it is probably on paper the one of the most powerful advantages, like, when it works.
Yeah, I agree. This is very especially since she didn't really I mean, not that she didn't work for it because she found it, but there was no second step, you know? Like with the idol, you don't just find the idol, you gotta like find this beware thing, then find the map to the
Honestly.
idol, then you gotta find this. It's like a billion steps to find this, you know? But this one, she just found it on the tree and there she has it. She didn't have to do another step. So
Maybe
I
part of
don't
it's, like,
know.
the like, a reward for even thinking something was out there? Maybe? I don't know. Like, does this mean there's advantages at the other 2 beaches? Because you would think so. Because otherwise, it's kind of unless you're saying, like, as reward, because it's not like they found it in their reward, it was out in the trees, like you said, so did they hide something because they came in first place? Are there things hidden at the other 2 beaches? How long are we even gonna be at those beaches if we're gonna merge soon? Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of good
Yeah.
questions.
I need to
Um,
know about that, like the steps, you know, what are their steps in regards to the game? Like, when do they add in this, or like what happens when two people, yeah, as you guys said, like two people having bewares, like where are we gonna hide the idol? Like, what? How does that work? Um, I'm just curious on all that.
Raw.
There's just I wonder what their algorithm is.
Now, the new Kele tribe, this is the main event of the storylines. So this is the now this actually is like a multi-episode story we got. It's like really over 3 episodes or even the whole season if you wanna think of it that way, but this is Sage versus Shannon, except Shannon doesn't know she's in a fight, so it's really just Sage's battle, and Sage was not included in the original, like, main Uli group, and whether she noticed it or not, she just was not part of the 4, and then on the first swap tribe, her and Shannon were on the bottom, but she observed Shannon trying to make inroads with the other people, which to be it's fair. I mean, you should be doing that. Um, and it rubbed Sage the wrong way. And now on this tribe, on like they have the majority and they could choose to stick together, but the Sage is just fed up. And Shannon's trying and what surprised me is I thought Shannon was just gonna work with Steven just to cover her bases, but she doesn't actually want to work with him. But Shannon reveals, like, actually, I think sticking with Steven is what I want to do, and I want to abandon Joanne. That surprised me.
Yeah, I'm shocked that Shannon, like, kinda, like, try to get, like, together with Sage, you know, after all this, like, backstabbing in the prior tribe and then coming back to it. I I I'm on and off with Shannon, you know, because as I said in the first episode, I was like, "Oh, good vibes," and then as time went on, I'm like, "Is she even real? Or is she in a cult?" Like, I don't know what's going on, even when she's talking about, like, switching out tribes, she's just you know, God brought this, and then she's got this lucky girl syndrome, and I'm like I'm all about the positive vibes, but, like, Shannon was just overly doing it, but then I'm like, maybe she's that sweet and nice, she didn't see that Sage is just so done with her. Like, Sage is like, the face that Sage makes whenever
So
she's talking or doing something, it's so funny. She's so done. I feel like Sage is that person like, Sage this episode or every time or the previous episode when someone is like, "Oh, what do you think about Shannon?" And they're like, "Oh," she's like, "Finally, someone sees it." Like, she just, like I feel like Shannon outwardly seems very sweet, very nice, so people love her, and Sage is just, like, not as, like, outwardly sweet, so people don't, like, gravitate towards Sage, but Sage saw like, to her, she saw, like, Shannon's not that nice, like, she's not the nice person everybody thinks she is, and that gets, like, resentment, and she doesn't like that, and so when the moment somebody's like, I don't really trust Shannon," Sage is like, "Finally, someone believes me," or, like, "Someone sees my perspective." Um, I don't know, I feel like I don't know if Shannon didn't know how to read the room or Shannon just, is this positive of a person. Either or, She didn't know how to reach Sage, like, Sage didn't like
Exactly.
you. Didn't like you at all, period. Like, there's, like, no love. She's just like, "I just love you, I don't know, I just feel like there's good vibes, and me and you, we ended up together." Sage is just like, "Yeah, yeah, love you too, yeah." Do you
And then,
what are
like,
your thoughts about
gag
Shannon?
face right
Yes, gag
after,
face.
like,
Yep,
dangerously,
roll
like, Shannon
eyes.
could have easily seen this and somehow but Shannon
Yes!
rolls, like, natural 1 in perception here,
Yeah.
like this I didn't I thought Shannon was in a good place, and even in the swap tribe, she was the previous swap tribe was get getting her name out there and attempting to make alliances. I thought it was fine. Basically just survival mode until everyone merges together. So she can get back to her actual alliance. Let's not forget, Sage is not part of her alliance. So Sage is part of her original tribe. So she's really just trying to kill time until everyone's back together. That's the game plan. And but she just an awful, awful read of her tribe mate Sage to realize that she is that there's even animosity at all, because if she had at any point realized, maybe she could have had a proper heart to heart and attempted to mend the wounds, and then if that doesn't work, then maybe damage control and try to target Sage. But instead, like, I think Shannon thinks that she's being a great friend and a great teammate and all and fake alliance member, and that all is well, and so she never bothers to, do anything like that because she thinks it's good. In fact, and in fact, is trying to get out Jawan. I probably mostly because Jawan was not on the original tribe, but also was not on like her new tribe, so she just hasn't been with them. Like, and she also says something like she wants Steven because Steven has potential allies from Hina. So in a merge, that could provide more options for her if needed. Uh, not a bad thought, but it just comes down to an awful read of stage. That's what it all comes down to.
Yeah, a part of me kinda wish there was, like, more to their storyline. Like, wouldn't it be iconic if they pulled a Camilla Kyle moment, you know? Like, where they were fighting and they're against one another, and in the end, they actually work together, but they're, like, not outwardly, they're not. Like, that would be cool, you know, where they don't like each other and slowly kinda work it out where they're together, or they kind of um, it has this mutual respect of like, "Hey, you're really good," or "You're really good." No, it's like, no, it is just Sage is pure hate. This is just pure dislike for this girl, and Shannon's just in la-di-da in Candyland and eating it all up of every person that she could talk to and saying "I love yous" to everybody. I feel like the word "I love you" and "I trust you" and "I wanna work with you" is just too much right now. I feel like,
Wha
this season, I feel like I hear it too. I love you too." Like, do though? I don't know, man. I don't know.
that's what you get. That's what you get in the vibe tribe. But
I know, but it's like, but it's not just that, it's like you like all the not it's just not like not the positive, all happy, happy tribe, it's like every tribe does that. Just like, "I love you," or like, "Oh, I trust you so much," and then I'm just like, "Oh, of course I have to say that." You know, if you're playing it we say this, we critique it now, but yeah, when you're playing it, what you're gonna say, I don't know about that."
well, pocket that idea because it's something happens at the end. So,
No,
but
that's true, that's true.
just keep that in mind.
But wait, quick question. Do you believe Shannon is like this outside of the realm of Survivor? Like how she is right now, you know, speaking about, you know, God, you know, speaking about, you know, life, where you know, she's got this very like very, very, very positive outlook in life and world and people and everything. Do you think that's how she is?
I know, I'd assume so. It's just there were so many parts of it, so not just eternal optimism in all situations, but there was the meditation, there was the uh, invoking her personal faith with everyone. I think that'd be a lot to make up just for this. Like usually, if you're gonna put something on, it's like there's one thing you're doing.
That's true.
So
That is a pretty big one. It
so
was
I'd
very strong.
assume yes.
I just feel like that type of strong personality doesn't wouldn't work in this game if she wants to, like, outwit, you know? I feel like if you were Final 3 and you, like, outwitted one of your people or you, like, you know, you, lied to somebody, they're gonna be like, "This is the person you put out to be," and then yet you're gonna be like, it's gonna be Lillian all over again, you know?
I see what you're saying because I think what could have happened is in her previous tribe, she thinks she's making Sage feel good, but then actually votes her out with the rest of the people on that tribe. But in that situation, Sage is not on the jury, so there's no consequences to that. But if that happens later in the game, that person's down with the jury, and then you're right, that opens the door for a lot of criticism. So I just didn't see it going. I just thought she was going to be like a number two to Savannah, and so anything people are mad at, it would just fall on Savannah and not her. That's because uh, Shannon was a previous winner pick of mine. That's where I thought it was going to go, but because of all these swaps, that just didn't play out. Um, so the immunity challenge, which right now is listed as being called Snap, Drag, and Bag, this was a obstacle course, but instead of a puzzle at the end of the obstacle course, it was like still a puzzle, but the one where you have to hold two people are holding onto ropes that holds it up, and those ropes hold up the table maze. You're trying to get the ball to the center of the maze. So not a build a puzzle type of puzzle, but a like dexterity strength puzzle type of thing. And in this, we see it was original or new Uli fall way behind. That's with Alex and Nate and everybody. Alex struggles at one of the parts where you're, um, what were they grabbing? There was, I think they were knocking something off, but ultimately they are able to make the comeback on that puzzle as Joanne and Sage struggle at that last portion, and it sends that tribe to tribal council. And we see the Sage and Shannon battle play out. Sage goes to Joanna, and this also is a negative for Shannon. If Shannon had a better relationship with Joanne, then Sage would go to Joanne, and Joanne already was a little hesitant. Joanne just would have been like, nah, I don't want to do that. Because the move they do, Joanne and Sage, they're going to ultimately target Shannon here. They're going against their original tribe. So the remaining Ulis will not be pleased by this. So this is not without risk.
Yeah.
But the fact that
Uh,
Joanne's willing to do it means that Shannon didn't do a good enough job building a
yeah, they
relationship with
weren't
Joanne. Granted,
yeah.
she hasn't been with around him for a while, but even so, not good.
Honestly, good on Joanne, like, building a relationship with Steven too. I really love that moment where they're both, like, just 2 nerdy boys, you know, get in, knowing each other and what they like. I thought that was a very cute moment
And dad
of
jokes.
Joanne and Steven, you know?
Oh yeah. Uh, and so it's gonna be 3 votes against Shannon, 1 vote for Joanne. The only thing I guess the last criticism of Shannon is because she's targeting Joanne, and because there's so few people, she has to tell everybody that that's her plan. It opens the door for Sage to turn it on her. Like if Shannon was targeting Steven, Sage would have less evidence to persuade Joanne to go against her. But obviously, if you get told someone's kind of gunning for you, that makes you pretty likely to try to get them out. So Shannon could have just played it by the numbers and targeted Steven and been done with it. And that probably just works. Steven goes home and life
Yeah.
goes on.
I
So
think she was just playing a little too hard, too aggressive, too soon. I don't think there was a need for her to build a relationship with Steven. I think it's better to just keep it safe. There's only 4 of us. Let's just keep it safe and do the easy vote and then worry about working between tribes later. I think yeah, I think Shannon at times it's interesting because she talks like everybody, she's positive, she loves everyone, but then she also they says these things that are like, "Oh, I think we need to get her out," or like, "I wanna get this person out," or like she is very interesting to see her on that, like, where she plays strategically, tries to build relationships, and then tries to like, is also this positive person, lucky girl syndrome, God-loving girl. It's interesting. I feel bad not liking her because she's good, but I'm also like, "I can't trust you."
I mean, that's basically how Sage felt. Now, I'm curious what's gonna happen from here. So obviously there could we didn't watch the preview, but so there could be a merge at this point. Um, and if there is, then I mean Sage. Well, Jawan definitely thinks he's part of an overall Uli alliance based on how things played out previously. Sage may or may not. Like will Sage have a step two to her revenge plan, or is this her peaked at this point? That will be interesting to see play out. And
That's true. Cause Sage could just work with Hina, like original Hina, as her real, like, revenge plan, because I don't think Sage was close to anybody, really.
no, no, well, yeah, no, I didn't know that she was especially against anybody, but she wasn't close to anybody either. And then spending all this time with Shannon made her focus on Shannon. But now that's done. So does she have anything else that she wants to do, or is she like I think I'm kind of worried that Sage at this point now will have no allies and could be a target. But we'll have to see. Steve, it works out for Steven, like scary, but since he did survive, he now can definitely go back to Hina, whatever he wants, and had a connection with Joanne, so that could come into play too if it turns out. So that's nice. We'll see how that goes for him.
Yeah, I do like that mix of, like, some Uli, some Hina, they're mixing together and being friends with one another. I hate the whole, like, before we even merge, we're already, like, Uli versus Hina already, and I'm like, "Ugh, again, come on." Um, it's always talking about just old tribal lines cross? Um, yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
that was
I
yeah, that's all his time there.
It is, that's true, that's true. I do like Steven. Steven is in my winner's pick, so I'm hoping for the best with him. I think he's really good in terms of he's really good at, like, finding relationships, and he's been pretty, like, kinda under the radar. The only reason he's, like, in this one is that he was the only Hina member in a group of 4, you know? So that's the only reason why he's, like, popped up again, but I think he's been managing really well. Um, yeah, I do like Steven, and now that I think about it, I do like him. I wanna see him more. But Shannon going, I as much as I was like, I don't like her, she's kinda cultist," I did kinda feel a little bit bad she had to go. Um, and that awkward request for a hug from Sage, oof, Will,
That took
got
s
me
that
cringing.
I mean, that was bold. That was I was about to joke about it, and then it happened before I said it. Shannon does something pretty common, which is give everyone a hug before you leave. Gets a hug from Steven, gets a hug from Joanne, and then goes for the hug for Sage, and Sage says, uh, like, respectfully, "Out of respect to you, like, I'm not gonna give you a hug. I'm gonna shake your hand, not gonna give you a hug because I wouldn't want it to be disingenuous with a hug." And Shannon
I
takes that in stride, but wow, I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen someone reject a hug
Yeah.
like that.
I mean, that's gotta be really bad. Like, their relationship's gotta be real bad, for that. I don't know, for that to and I can't help but hear when Shannon was like, "I love you too," and I'm like, "Did Sage even say I love you?" I'm like, did she say that?
Yeah, this is even though I had high hopes for Shannon, I mean, this and I switched her away from her as winner pick just in time, but I mean, this is awful, like, F tier read of her relationship with Sage. Even in that moment, I wonder if she's even realized after the non-hug, maybe she's like, "Oh, it's fine. That's just not her style, I guess. We're still besties." Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, I think do you think if they made the merge and she was gonna be part of the jury, Sage would have hugged Shannon? Like, just out of, like, hypothetical question.
No, no. The relationship had gone so horribly wrong. That's
It was bad from day one. I feel like Sage just never liked her, and it never went better.
I'm just worried that now Sage, will she make a connection with anybody is the question.
I worry Sage might. I feel like you may be right that Sage hasn't made much relationship, and I don't think Sage and Savannah would click. I feel like they would never click. I don't think Sage is a Sophie girl either. I I I feel bad because I want Sage to get close to, some peeps and stay strong, but I fear that she doesn't put herself out there to make people wanna work with her, unfortunately, but I think if she wants to work with someone, her biggest thing is original Hina. It's Christina, it's Sophie, it's Steven, it's MC, and this time, this vote made it to Steven that, "Hey, I'm working with you, I'm getting rid of my own peeps," you know? So, I think the
Yeah.
only way is Sage is going to Hina, and I would love that. I think that would be great.
Yeah, in honor of F, the, like, future focus for me is definitely Sage. What does she have a next
Mhm.
move? And if so, what it is? Because I'm kinda worried she does not have a next move, and she's just like, "Alright, mission accomplished. All is well." But, uh but yeah, we'll see. So, Shannon gone. You did mention Steven. He is one of your winner picks. Will you be sticking with Steven, or will you be
Yes, I
switching?
am. Nope, I will stay strong with Steven. You got this.
Alright, and then, Rizzo is your other winner pick. And by the way, you submitted these, after episode 1
Yes, I
and
did, I
have
did.
not had a chance to update them, so you are I don't know if I call it lucky or skillful, but you haven't lost either of these guys.
Which is crazy. I'm gonna keep both of them. I don't think Rizzo is in danger at all. Like, I don't think it's so weird because I feel like Rizzo, Savannah, Sophie has just been like just not even in anybody's minds. And they also, I guess they haven't really been required to be, like, oh, Sophie, yes, but I meant, like, Savannah and Rizzo hasn't really required to be, like, in that position as much, but man, nobody even thinks about them. Nobody's, like, ever even thinking like, "Hey, they're really close, like, shouldn't we kinda worry about them?" Actually, Sage did say that. Actually, Sage did say that. I take it back. Sage was the first one that did talk about how they were being close, but I want more people to talk about it. I want more people to talk about it and more people being threatened and being like, "Let's take out Rizzo or Savannah." I'm sorry. I don't know. They're okay. They're fine.
Well, with that said, are you sticking to Rizzo or are you switching?
Yes, I am. I am.
Okay.
I'd say
S
I wanted to stay with him, but if he could go far. I feel like Rizzo could go far.
Perhaps, perhaps. Yeah, he does have that idol, so that although it's a fully public one, so we'll see.
Yes.
I had switched last episode from Shannon to MC, so we survive. I got spooked last week by MC's bizarre performance in that journey challenge with Nate.
Oh,
This
yes.
episode, she's. I just need if they merge, we're fine because she's in grave danger on her current tribe. But as long as either they win or and they're a good tribe if they don't merge too anyway. And then
MC's carrying that tribe physically.
and she has been doing it all season for whichever tribe she's
Yeah.
been on. And
She's
if they
incredible.
do merge again, she'll have a chance to meet up back with Steven, and so that's good. One of the few, like, other alliances we have right now, like, really, like, number ones. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
comfortable. I'll stick with MC. But all right, so that brings us to the end of episode 6. We're getting into the meat of season 49. So we'll see if any new storylines reveal themselves. Is it gonna be more of Uli versus Hina, or maybe some other cross tribal alliances will be made? I mean, there's a lot to go. So we shall see. Anything else before we adjourn?
No, I'm excited to see what's coming next. I mean, so far, I'm just pumped to see, like, who's next, and I'm also really pumped to kinda know who's gonna be the returning players for Survivor 50. I'm curious about that because I think
Yeah,
that kinda
just
changes things, you know? I feel like that would change
well,
how people would
of
think, you
course,
know?
of
But
course.
I don't
So
know. Do you know? Like, honestly, do you
no.
know, Will?
No,
Okay.
so I, as you
Good,
know,
good.
I have, like, S tier on spoiler
Yes, you are
avoidance,
very good.
so I don't, but I do warn you, it is my understanding that if one wanted to know, it would be quite easy to find out. So,
Gotcha. And it's confirmed
do
too, like,
not
that is confirmed? Or is it
s
rumors?
well,
Or
what's confirmed by Jeff Probst himself when he did, like, the reveal for 50 is that there are 2 people from this
yes,
season,
yes.
but not who they are. But,
Oh, okay.
but keeping my, like, ear to the ground, it seems that people have found out via
Mm,
mysterious ways. I didn't look into it, of course. So, just be careful if you're ever looking stuff up because I think people know.
okay. You know, my guess is Jake. Like, my guess is, like, he had this whole story, he
Oh, like
got
a redemption,
yes, yes,
second
yes,
chance
because
type of
he
thing. Okay.
yes, because he got her, and it's not his fault that he got taken out, you know? And then he had his whole story with his father that's losing his vision, like, I don't know, I'm just like, maybe they'll bring back Jake, I have an inkling. Maybe Jake. Maybe not him at all.
Yeah.
People that know are probably like,
If
"Oh
it
my god."
if it was Jake, I hope it's Jake and Alex because then you have, like, the bromance back out there, even
Oh,
though, like, that was kind
yes.
of one-sided bromance of Jake towards
I
Alex, but
know.
still.
Oh, I feel like the
Oh.
game would have been so different if Jake was here still, but oh well.
More missing shoes.
Yes, more missing shoes. I love it when, he gets annoyed with somebody, he's just like, "I'm gonna take their shoes." As, like, a little lessons. He's already ready to be a father. Like, that's, like, classic, classic. Take away something from you. But yeah, that's my guess is maybe Jake is one of them, but hey, we'll see.
Oh, uh, and then last 10 seconds, do you want to see Shannon ever again?
Oh my gosh, absolutely not. Very nice lady, but I think I've seen enough of her. We're good, you know?
I
She
can't wait
seems
for
nice.
you and F to answer one of these, like, "No, never again," and then, like, those are the people that are back for
Oh my
for
gosh.
for
Oh my
50.
gosh. Oh my gosh. The next season is Shannon. I could see her coming back too, you know? She is very particular in regards to her character, she's very unforgettable. I won't forget about her ever, actually, I think. 10 seasons down, you're like, "Remember Shannon?" I'm like, "Who?"
Who? Yeah.
But I think she's very memorable though, don't you think? Like, there's not a lot of people that, like, preach like that on
I
Survivor.
I suspect by the end of the season, she won't be that memorable. I think
Oh,
I think
okay.
I think we're missing at least for what I remember people making moves, so I feel like I mean, I hope we're gonna get some big moves as the season goes on, and then I think I'm gonna remember those people. And yeah, and you're not making it to merge, it hurts too. As of right now, she is memorable because no one else I mean, she's, like, the only person who even, like, started making future plans, which ironically hurts, so
That's
I guess
true.
the lesson is be boring and don't make future plans. But,
Yeah, that's the meta
mm,
is to stay low, don't do too much. Don't be too strong, don't be too smart, don't be too good,
I mean,
but
yeah,
also don't be that bad.
don't be that bad, yeah.
I
In
don't
fact,
know.
don't even go on Survivor.
Yeah, 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 when Jeff is like, "Hey, does this look like a good vacation to you? Well, come through." No, don't do it. It's a trap.
All right, with that, we're gonna close it up. Thank you all for tuning in to this episode of Island
Yes.
Life, and tune in next time as we will go into episode 7 of season 49. But until then, and until we speak again, ciao.